Good morning, traders. This is Chris Buss with Traders Profit Compass with your midday market pulse update for Friday, October 30th. Okay, let's get started. SPY daily, we reached up to 330, and that wasn't able to be recaptured, and then we fell away. Our technical target remains 320 at the bottom of the box. We're close right now. We're in bounce mode. So let's go down to the lower time frames and see what we've got. This is a 2-hour chart. If you were interested in trading this morning, we talked about 330 was a great bull bear pivot, and it reached up to tag that level right out of the gate, and that was your objective short entry that obviously has worked out well. We talked about oftentimes the pre-market low is a technical target, and we got that almost to the penny here. It doesn't always work out like that, but it's nice to have these things in mind, filed away when you're in your trading day, that would be a place, especially given once the pre-market low is hit, that strong bounce, that's usually an indication of an idea that they're going to fade it, especially after all this prior selling. So that was a great entry and follow through. Here you just see it a little clearer with this reach up candle right here to 330. Now what I've done across the board is laid on the Fibonacci retracement levels for a potential bounce, and here it lines up really well with 327. If we get that bounce to 327, that would be an area that I would reinitiate a short with a stop just above. There's always the potential of an overshoot up to the 50% level, but I don't think there's the appetite to really ramp it, and I would be looking to fade any bounce that you get up into resistance, and that's why I have them marked. Actually hoping for a bounce to reshort up in this area. Qs, we talked about 370 being an important level. Wasn't able to hold that, and now we're below. If we were to close below this afternoon, then that opens up our downside technical target of the September low and the box low down at 260. On the 2-hour chart, I've dropped the fibs in. 272 and 274 are places that I would look for a rejection of a bounce. You can see here that we had marked the pre-market low of 269.5. We got that and more. I was actually in this trade, worked out great. I shorted up here when price could not take out 275, so I got a great move there. Closed a little bit early, but anyways, I closed at the pre-market low, and then it went down to this 268 level and tagged it. So I left a little bit on the table, but good trade overall. Now I'm hoping for a bounce up into the 272, 274 area to reinitiate a short and then come back down. 30-minute chart, I don't know if there's much to see here. Stock charts does wacky things sometimes. But here was our pivot at the top of the morning, and that worked out great. Now we're at support at 268 and seeing if we can get a bounce up here. IWM hasn't done a whole lot. This is a daily chart. The chart is still open to this 150 level. And then when we go to the 2-hour chart, we see it a lot clearer. You had an entry up here. You definitely had an entry on the break of 155 if you wanted to take that trade. We had talked about yesterday's low as a target at 51.67. We got that almost to the penny. So that worked out great. And now you can see that we're bouncing up. I haven't put the fibs on this one, but you can see 153 is going to be an area of resistance and very likely a place that this gets rejected here. If it pops above, then I would be looking at 153.50, and if it got all the way back up to 154.50, that would definitely be a place to initiate a short as well. Facebook, this was a beautiful one that we had talked about this morning. Opened, reached up, and then your entry was a move into this gap from yesterday. This was from the pins reaction, and then great follow through right down, gap fill, and then follow through down to this 264 target. So that if you're in that, kudos, the setup was definitely there. And if you were on top of your game and you saw that entry into the gap, that was the green light to get short. Now, this afternoon, if you were to see a kickback bounce to 267.50, that would be your place to reinitiate a short with a stop just above. I think that's as far as it's going to get on any bounce. And if you are still in the trade, then you can stay short against 264 and then stop out just above. But this is a live chart, so you can see that prices are starting to move down again. Apple, I don't know if you could have caught it. This was from the gap from today. If you did, great. It had to hold this 108.50 level that we had identified, and it has so far. If we were to lose that 108 level, then you're going to see some fast selling in Apple, I would imagine. Tesla has really fallen apart. Had the little gap down, and it was straight down the whole way. Actually blew past this 390 where I thought it would stop, and you can see here on the bounce that it has reached up to this 390 level and has thus far been rejected there. So if you're actively trading that can be an area where you can set a stop just above. If you got short here on this kickback, then look for lower prices this afternoon. Microsoft had a very nice setup. Here's the 60-minute chart. It reached up right to this 204 and change level and was rejected there. That was your entry point against yesterday's closing bar right here, and then you got some great follow through. We made our pre-market target of 200. Now, if today's low breaks, then the doors open up towards 197 if there's a bunch of selling this afternoon. Amazon also gave a nice entry. We had talked about 31.50 being your pivot. Got an initial move higher, but then when it lost 31.50, that was your green light to get short. You got the fast $50. You got some follow through here down to about 30.70. Trying to bounce, but really no power behind it. So the sellers remain in control. If you were looking for an entry point, I think you got to wait and get that kickback to 3,100. That would be a great place to either reinitiate a short, and then you're looking for 30.50 here as a target. And then if that were to break, then this 29.75, which was the September lows down here. This is the Google daily. Not much to see. They've faded it the whole way. I don't know if you could have gotten this short up here if you were focused on it and were good at candle reading. You may have been able to grab that, and then it's just been straight down. And so now the technical target is a complete gap backfill down to 1560. And you know, if you're in those Friday lottery option positions that expire today, just watch your time. You know, they're going to start decaying very quickly as the day progresses. So if you see any hesitation at all, book your profits, because any bounce back would really hurt on those lottery calls. Netflix giving up the whole candle. Nice entry was available here at 505 when it, you know, it closed just below, and then it reached up right at 505 at this prior gap entry level and this 505 level that we have marked for a long time. That was your short, and your what is that? You're 25 to the good already with more to go. It looks like down to 475 and potentially 465 if things break loose this afternoon. Twitter, we talked about this. That today is all about, I mean, on Twitter, because there was no prior range to really shoot against. It was all, you know, candle by candle. If you were good at reading candles in that opening range, if you got that, it's been a quick move down. So kudos to you. I did have Pinterest here gap up the other day, and they've been fading it ever since. So that set up as a nice bracket trade. I didn't have my alarm set. I wish I did, but I didn't set them on this one, and that would have been a nice trade. Okay, that's all I've got. Quick video update. Here's what I expect this afternoon. Hoping for a bounce to reinitiate a short position, but it's got to be against an objective level, in my opinion, or you're, you know, playing with fire and a potential reversal. I do expect more selling into the afternoon. I mean, think about it. If they've been liquidating all week, are they going to pick Friday afternoon into COVID weekend, you know, 2 days before the election to start buying? I doubt it. I mean, you've got to be open to it, but that's not the favored scenario. What I favor is some type of an oversold bounce on the short time frames and then fading into the close, and most likely some more selling on Monday, I would imagine, if it gets ugly this afternoon. They say that bad selling never ends on a Friday, and given they've been selling all week, then it stands to reason that Monday will be very weak as well. So depending on how it goes this afternoon, I'll have to decide if I can get a video out to you. But as far as positioning for the weekend, it's like we always say, if you want to be in it, just be in it at a level where you're very comfortable because of the weekend risk. You don't want to be nervous all weekend with some, you know, big position where you're biting your fingernails waiting for the Sunday night futures to open. If you decide to carry risk over the weekend, just make it trade within your means is what I'm trying to say. Don't get all crazy with it. You've got much better opportunity right now when you're watching every candle than when you're at the mercy of Sunday night futures when you probably aren't going to be able to trade. So let's leave it there. If you're new to the channel and like the content, please hit the subscribe button and the alarm bell. Then you'll get notified of all my content. Over in the show notes are links to the blog site and to register for my content, where you'll get an email every time I publish, and also an invite link to the trading room, where we'd love to have you. Some guys put on some great trades today, and we're really helping one another on levels and thoughts and all that kind of stuff. It's good to have that camaraderie when markets are moving fast. So I hope you're trading really well. If you get nervous or flustered, just take a step back, refocus on your levels, and make sure that when you initiate a trade, if you do, that it's against an objective low risk level. Don't take any trades in the middle of the range, because then you're at the mercy of candlesticks that, you know, can go in either direction. Make sure you're at an objective level. Set your stop, you know, just above or just below, whatever you're trying to do, and honor that stop if you get, if you get stopped out. Take your trade off and walk away with a paper cut, and then reload. Okay, this has been Chris Butts with Traders Profit Compass. Have a good rest of your trading day. Good luck out there, and talk to you soon.